Good day to all. Welcome to a new chapter under Logic. This is LBV Gmath 3-3.1a, the first video on our discussion on syllogisms. I am Engineer Peter Benjamin Obiano, your lecturer for this video. This video is now under the last chapter on our discussion on general mathematics. This video focuses on the most essential learning competency, which is on determining the validity of categorical syllogisms. For our topic outline, first, we will define what syllogisms are, and then we will take a look at what categorical propositions are. At the end of this video, I hope that we will be able to define what categorical propositions are and identify the different types of categorical propositions. Let us now go to our topic today. What are syllogisms? Syllogisms are arguments that are formed consisting of two premises and a conclusion. There are three major types of syllogisms. We have conditional syllogism, disjunctive syllogism, and categorical syllogism. Our focus on this chapter is on categorical syllogisms. So we will not go in depth of the other types of syllogisms. However, let's just define them and maybe cite one example for each. Let's define what is a conditional syllogism. It is a syllogism with the basic form: if A is true, then B is also true. As an example, we have this one. So you have our first premise: Roberts like America. Second premise: Roberts like all American things. Conclusion: Robert drives an American car. So this is an example of a conditional syllogism. Next, we have disjunctive syllogism. This is defined as a syllogism with the basic form: either A or B is true. If it's not A, then it is B. As an example, we have this one. The cake is either black forest or red velvet. The cake is not black forest. Therefore, the cake is red velvet. So we have here a statement telling us that it is either black forest or red velvet. Then we have another premise telling us that it is not black forest. Since it is not black forest and it is just either of the two, we conclude that the cake is therefore red velvet. So this is an example of a disjunctive syllogism. Now let's go to our third type of syllogism, categorical syllogism. It is an argument consisting of exactly three categorical propositions, two premises, and a conclusion. As an example, you have this one. All bulldogs are dogs. All bulldogs are mammals. Therefore, all mammals are dogs. Now, before we discuss categorical syllogisms in general, let us first discuss what categorical propositions are. Alright, what are categorical propositions? These are propositions that say something about how the members of one category are related to the members of another category. They state whether one category or categorical term is fully contained within another. It can also be partially contained within another, or it is completely separate. Let us have some examples. Let's say you have this one. Every Filipino love mangoes. Now, we have two categories here, Filipino and those that love mangoes. Now, what does this proposition mean? This proposition says that everything in the category of Filipino is contained in the category of things that loves mangoes. So that is how prepositions are, or specifically categorical prepositions are. They are prepositions that tell us if a category is fully contained within another. In this case, all Filipinos is contained within everyone that loves mangoes. So that is an example of a categorical preposition. Let's have another example. No animal eats its young. We have two categories here. The category of animal and the category of things that eat their young. What does this categorical preposition say? It says that nothing in the category of animals is contained in the category of things that eat their young. No animal is found within anything that eats its young. So we are relating the category of animals to the category of those that eats their young. And we now see from here that there is no animal that is contained within this category. Let us have one last example. Some dogs are friendly. Again, we have two categories here. One is for the dogs. The other is anything that are friendly. It says here that some in the category of dogs is contained in the category of things that are friendly. So basically, those are examples of categorical propositions. They tell us how one category is contained in another category. Now, let us go to the parts of a categorical proposition. You have the following: the quantifier, the subject, the copula, and the predicate. Now, what is the quantifier? The quantifier part is any word that is at the beginning of our categorical proposition. It can be the word all, it can be the word no, or it can also be the word some. The subject is the first term in our prepositions. The copula are the words are or are not. Lastly, the predicate is the second term in the proposition. As an example, let's have this one. All Asians are rice lovers. In this proposition, all is our quantifier, Asians is the subject, are is the copula, and rice lovers is the predicate. Now, it is very important to know what these parts are. They are very important when determining the validity of syllogisms, especially the subject, the predicate, and our quantifier. So kindly take note of them. We will be needing them in future lessons. Let us also define term distribution. In a categorical preposition, as mentioned a while ago, we have two terms, the subject and the predicate. Now, for prepositions, sometimes the subject is, well, we call it distributed, while the other is undistributed. It can be both subject and predicate are distributed, both are undistributed, or one of them is distributed, the other is not distributed. So let's just define distributed and undistributed terms. A categorical term is said to be distributed if the categorical preposition that contains it says something about all the members of that categorical term. So, if you know something about all the members of that categorical term, then that term is distributed. Now, a categorical term is undistributed if the categorical preposition that contains it does not say something about all the members of the categorical term. So again, distributed, we are sure about all members of the categorical term. While for undistributed, we do not know anything about all members. Maybe you just know some, but not all. So that is undistributed. Let us now take a look at the different types of categorical prepositions. And at the same time, let us take a look if our term is distributed or not distributed. There are four types of categorical propositions. Let us start with the type A propositions. Type A propositions follow the format all SRP. Take note that S and P here stands for subject and predicate respectively. And we will be following this convention for the rest of our discussion on categorical prepositions. Again, type A follows the format all SRP. Let's have an example. We have this one. All lions are animals that eat meat. In this proposition, the subject is lions and the predicate is animals that eat meat. So the subject is lions and predicate is the animals that eat meat. Now, let us take a look at the distribution of the subject and the predicate. As we can see here, this says something about all the lions. This says something about the subject. From this proposition, we are able to see that all lions are animals that eat meat. We know that all lions eat meat. Since we know something about all of the lions, we know something all about the subject, then we can say that our subject is distributed. Now, for the predicate, we don't know anything about all animals that eat meat. So again, this says something about all the lions. However, it does not say something about all animals that eat meat. You cannot say that all animals that eat meat are lions. You cannot say that. All right. So in short, in type A prepositions, the subject is distributed, but the predicate is undistributed. Let us now go to the next type of categorical preposition. This is type E. Type E prepositions follow the format no S is P or no S are P. Again, S here is the subject, P here is the predicate of our preposition. Let us have an example. No elephants are animals that are two-legged. The subject in the preposition is elephants and the preposition is animals that are two-legged. Now, from this preposition, we can see that this says something about all elephants, which is our subject. We know that all elephants are not two-legged. So it says here, no elephants are animals that are two-legged. Therefore, we know that all elephants are not two-legged. At the same time, it also says something about all animals that are two-legged. We know that of all animals that are two-legged, none of them are elephants. Thus, in this proposition, the subject is distributed and the predicate is also distributed. We now go to the third categorical preposition. You have type I. Type I prepositions have the following form. Some S are P. Let us have an example. Some dogs are animals that are white. In this proposition, the subject is dogs and the predicate is animals that are white. As we can see here, nothing definite is being said about either dogs or animals that are white. So as we can see, nothing definite is being said about all dogs because it says here, some dogs are white. So not all dogs are white. So it does not say something about all dogs. And at the same time, it does not say something about all animals that are white. We cannot say that all animals that are white are dogs. We cannot say that. Thus, the subject is undistributed and the predicate is also undistributed. Lastly, we have type O propositions. Type O propositions follow the form some S are not P. As an example, we have this one. Some cats are not gentle. The subject of this proposition is cats and the predicate is things that are gentle. Take note that in this proposition, this does not say anything about all cats. So it just says here some cats, not all. So we don't know anything about all cats. However, it does say something about things that are gentle. It does say that of all things that are gentle, at least one is not a cat. Since this is the case, in type O propositions, the subject is undistributed and the predicate is distributed. Now that we have defined what the different types of categorical propositions are, let's have an exercise. For the next propositions, let us identify if the given is type A, type E, type I, or type O. Let's start with this one. Some dogs are cute. Our subject here is dogs, and the predicate is things that are cute. As we can see here, this follows the sum SRP format. Thus, what we have is a type I proposition. Next, some people are not nice. The subject is people. The predicate is anything that is nice. This proposition follows the some S are not P format. Therefore, this is a type O proposition. Next, all mathematicians are philosophers. The subject is mathematicians. The predicate is philosophers. This follows the form all S are P. Thus, we have a type A proposition. Another one, no geese are felines. The subject is geese. The predicate is felines. This follows the no SRP format. This is type E. Next, all cars are machines. The subject is cars. The predicate is machines. As we can see here, this follows the all SRP format. Therefore, what we have is a type A proposition. Next, some students are not studying. The subject is students. The predicate is things or people that are studying. This proposition follows the some S are not P format. Thus, what we have is a type O proposition. Next one, no tigers are animals that live underwater. The subject is tigers. The predicate is animals that live underwater. As we can see here, this proposition follows the no SRP format. Thus, what we have is a type E proposition. Lastly, some lawyers are teachers. Subject is lawyers. Predicate is teachers. Thus, what we have is a preposition that follows the some SRP format. What we have is a type I proposition. I hope that from the previous propositions, we are able to learn how to identify the type of categorical preposition. Kindly master how to identify the type of preposition since we will be using them later in the next videos. Alright, that's the end of the video. I hope that we were able to define what categorical prepositions are and at the same time to identify the different types of categorical prepositions. We are now finished with LBV 3-3.1a. The next video will be LBV 3-3.1b, which we will talk about categorical syllogisms. For additional questions to work on, you may refer to Quek's book on General Mathematics, Chapter 6. God bless and see you in the next video.